during their best of 5 against Vici, and then he ended up playing it again during Chinese Pro League, but it went way worse
I mean,
for
it's
him.
pretty understandable because of the changes the hero received. He kind of needs a lot of items. A lot of players, they don't really like to play Osprey anymore because as a position 4, he needs to get a lot of items, and otherwise he's just going to go in and die in the fights every time, you know. It's very hard for him to cast all his spells. That's why people don't really play him as position 4 as much. I think only Creed plays him a lot during officials. Apart from him, very little position 4 hero, players like the hero.
So, I mean, if not many people are going after it in the 4, is it a bit of a surprise here that IG go to ban it out in the first phase? I mean, that seems like, well, first of all, now they went to the Centaur and they didn't even
I'm
go
just
for the
here to
Void.
learn because I don't really understand like what hero is really strong right now. So I'm just gonna observe. But it's probably because of they understand that LGD prioritize the Earth Spirit. They could prioritize the Earth Spirit based on the previous game against what BG. That they pick it on core twice. So they go back for the Ogre plus Void Spirit. So this game IG had first pick, so they chose to first pick. It's the off laner being first pick again, once again. The last game LGD had first pick and they first picked the Mars. This time LGD follow up with a Void Spirit, which could be most likely going to be their mid hero, but it technically could be the carry as well. So a flexible core and a support. That's a pretty good way of opening as a second. You want to keep your options open.
I'm actually a little bit surprised that IG didn't take the Void Spirit because it's normally a first phase ban, and having that first pick, except for I would say this moment right here.
Whatever we are seeing right now, because there's a lot of changes in the patches, so it's like not really that accurate. Like we can't really use it as a very good data to determine what the team's actually thinking, right? Because everyone is trying to figure out how to open with their draft, and especially because there's additional ban right now at the start of the game. So there are going to be certain picks that are going to be extra strong because you can ban one more hero. Certain heroes need that one more ban before you can first pick it, which I still haven't figured out which one, but as time goes by, everyone will start to figure it out.
And then they pick up the Ogre Magi with the Void Spirit, and one of the heroes that goes with an Ogre Magi is the Faceless Void that I was telling you about before we even started casting, was just how often it's kind of picked up together, the Ogre and the Void in the Chinese region. And one of the things too is Void Spirit, when he gets that gets to that point, can Astral Step across the Chronosphere and really just amp up the damage that comes in when you've got that Chrono out.
PSG
Yeah,
LGD
but if they pick Void, Centaur's gonna get a very easy lane. That lane is very hard for, I think. But yeah, I mean, generally it depends what they want. If they want to pick a core that has a good lane like against the Centaur, or they want to pick a hero that can win them the game. Because right now they have the ultimate last pick. But because they picked the Void Spirit early, that could mean that they want to keep the carry last, or at least keep their options open. I'm just curious to see what are they going to pick. But they're going to choose to go for the Willow. I think that's help them with the boxes that lacking. So IG goes for the Bane, so they're going to have very strong lanes, Bane, Rubik. You don't want to overdo it in your head that, oh, this is a flexible pick, you can go at it, and then you forget about the boxes that you're not kicking when you're doing that.
Ever get into trouble?
PSG LGD.
Okay, so it's Life Stealer. So what is LGD gonna do here? Ultimate counter. Yeah, Void Spirit made Dragon Knight safe lane. So Dragon Knight against Centaur, that's gonna be a wash. Everyone's gonna be happily trading and farming. LC against Life Stealer, that lane is gonna be advantageous for Dire. Mid lane, Void Spirit against TA. I remember seeing this matchup. I always feel like a TA should win the lane, but it's very close to 50-50. And sometimes I think it was at the start that I saw a couple of games where Void Spirit won the lane against TA. So Void Spirit is actually not that weak in the lane. So laning wise, middle is going to be 50-50, top is going to be, the Life Stealer is going to lose his lane slightly against LC, and Centaur is going to do slightly better than the D. So I think it's quite even laning phase. But during the mid game, team fight wise, I think Radiant Dire has a very strong team fight when I think when they have all these BKBs and they can stand in front and fight. But when if they don't have their BKBs, I think it's easier for the IG lineup to just run in with Centaur, Stampede with Dagger and just kill someone quickly because the Dire doesn't have save, right? Nobody can. I mean, apart from they have the LC dispel, but when the Centaur comes in, they can easily just win the team fight from eliminating one hero quickly. Whereas the Dire lineup, they can't really kill one guy very quickly. Their damage comes from like over time. They can't really kill someone in a heartbeat. So I think that overall, this game probably easier for IG to take this game. And they have Roshan as well with the TA. The Dire side don't really have a Roshan hero.
Slater first air onto the TA. Do you think at that point, like when you've got at those timings around that Desolator is when IG are going to start to try and really pressure the side of LGD?
Roshan is the key thing here. If they can get the Roshan early, they're going to snowball very, very easily. And I just feel like their draft just ticks more boxes, when I'm talking about all. They can do Rosh still somewhere down the road, but it's going to be harder. It's a lot harder for them to do the Rosh. The Ultra League game, with the buff, Ogre buff, LC buff, all these buffs for the Dragon Knight. Whereas for the Radiant side, it's like pretty much straightforward, right? You have this Death on TA, you get Rosh, then with the Dagger on the set. So he's probably going to have Dagger plus, say, Pipe or Crimson Guard. So he's going to be the front line. Everything is very straightforward. They have a front line, they have a damage dealer, a life stealer, and TA is going to hit the tower. So everything is straightforward, right? And they have cash from Rubik's. You kind of can picture everything happening in your head when you look at that draft. You know what they want to do. But for the right side, the draft on the right, it's more complicated. They have to do a lot of very good special moves, like individual plays, to win the game. So laning wise, like I said, it's going to be, I think it's going to be quite even because LC is going to do better bottom, Santos going to be, I think it's going to be a 50-50 wash, but we shall see.
Didn't we talk about the TA just like earlier when we were talking about like what matchups does TA really even lose? And it really we came to the conclusion that there weren't many matchups, if any, that the TA is losing right now, and we're kind of seeing that at least against the Void Spirit it could be a bit of a 50-50. Does it call
you think TA is supposed to win a matchup, right? You think that's what you think in your head. But sometimes I've seen the Void Spirit do better than the TA. I'm not sure it's because of some small personal mistakes, because I'm not a mid player, that the TA made, or the matchup is just like this. So we have to see this game, what happens.
It's one of those interesting matchups, and I feel like a point of it kind of comes down to maybe the little intricacies of the matchup. Like, we'll see Aether Remnant picked up by the Void Spirit. Can he land those Aether Remnants to really harass up this TA a little bit more? Yeah. Like, it's those little things that I think will make or break the matchup between these two heroes.
And the Centaur as well. This is like the flavor right now. You get the Ring of Taras for the lane, because this is the OP item. Ring of Taras and the Ring of Regen. I mean, those are the two OP items right now for the early game. Efficient regen, you can say.
Yeah, and again, I feel like we've hit the points a couple times throughout just this series. But you said that regen's very important, and like heavy health regen is really big in the laning phase, and he gets it.
Ogre Dragon Knight, yeah. Can you get more than that?
Yeah, exactly.
Ogre Dragon Knight, they both mass regen.
And then you've got the Centaur who's dealing with, Ring of Tarask and everything, and he'll be building into even more HP regen.
Yeah, bot lane lives to the thing. I didn't see how he died, but I guess it's probably like misplayed. We didn't expect him to die that early to the LC below lane. But all in all, so like I said, LC is going to get the upper hand bot. Centaur is probably going to get the upper hand top as time goes by, but for now, Dragon is keeping up nicely, even in CS against the Centaur. And mid lane is also even. But TA has done a lot more harass on the Void Spirit.
There's that Aether Remnant missing, so it's again those little parts of this matchup that will really make or break it for someone.
Yeah, I actually think that's going to be the key thing to decide whether the voice spirit can do well in this lane, if he can land that on the TA.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be tough, and when you miss one like that, it doesn't feel that great. But of course, the TA just walked in and took a couple of tower shots, regardless of the fact that that Aether Remnant had missed. It gives you certainly opportunity, and the supports for these teams, both supports, you know, support duos are heroes that I expect to maybe come mid and try and disrupt the opponent's lane.
Minute 5.5 when the catapult is off.
Yeah.
You will
That
see
was the timing in the
3v3
last
again.
game.
Yeah, that's always the first. In most cases, not every game, not 100%, but in 80-90% of the game, that's the first. You want to go there regardless because if you can't kill the enemy hero, you want to prevent them from killing your teammate as well. So you try to be there as much as. And
Aether Remnant
the
doesn't
TA
hit. Jesus, Somnus.
gosh, that was like.
And that was close too, because that Aether Remnant hit a creep. That hits TA, and that's a whole different look. But Somnus, man, that is clenching material right there.
They know their limits. So everything continues back as normal. Top lane, Olga's being run down.
Yeah, but they've got the telekinesis. It's so quick level 1 that it's almost impossible once you've already used that hoof stomp to get that kill. He's up and down in the matter of a split second.
Okay, so CS-wise, the Dragon Knight is actually doing much better than I expected. It's 25-21 to the central. So if LGD is able to win the top lane, so it means that they're going to win top and bot, and mid is going to be a draw. So that's a huge deal for them. Centaur has a Bracer and it's going for right away. So that's going to give him even more regen in the lane, which is what the only thing that matters right now in the lane. Keeps standing regen, efficient regen.
JT.
And Lifesteal is struggling because of the first blood. Right.
Yeah, he's only 15-0. Wow, he is almost getting doubled out by.
Because he went all venom. He went all venom early, and you die. So your build is gonna backfire because of that. You went for a lane dominating build, and you die in effect, and you don't have a lot of regen in the lane. It's like a snowballing effect.
Yeah, and it all stems from just that first blood.
And TS level 6 now, so for 5 minutes, Sparpians top. Centaur gonna solve up. Olga's gonna try to cancel us out.
Now let's see if they can get the kill here on a Chalice. And Chalice at least on the high ground. They have the telekinesis that came in from Kaka. They'll get the TP out on the DK. They'll get the kill there on the X Nova. Meanwhile, Somnus drops over mid. Can they trade? TA looking for maybe a second one. FY has to go back towards the tower as Negative sitting nearby.
Oh, he's solo. And did the Bane even do anything? So here is the 5-minute catapult, and supports are having a party mid. So FY definitely living life on the edge.
It gets ahead of that Aether Remnant again, and that's interesting because that's not the first time that we've seen that, where when Somnus throws out that Aether Remnant, Negative steps forward, but kind of behind where that Remnant's gonna get that lockdown.
Oh, he's in trouble.
Looks over. Somnus now might have some help with X Nova. Does have the blood loss coming out onto this Void Spirit. I also had the Rubik coming over to help the TA, so was help there for him if they had dived into this jungle area to look for the kill.
Yeah, the party is still going on in middle lane because the Dire still has catapult here. So you see FY TP and Lifesteal. What, he got solo killed?
Solo killed again by that Legion Commander. I'm shocked. I was looking over mid because they look like they're going to dive this tower, and that's exactly what they're going to do. The Aether Remnant comes in. They've got the Cursed Crown. Nightmare. Good job by Ollie, but he's still dead anyway.
Save the catapult. That's what they need to do right now. Do you have a glyph? No glyph. Catapult stays alive, so tower's going to take a lot more damage. The two supports are still hanging on the side, but I'm not sure if they can do anything right now.
Somnus still takes a lot of damage from the right click coming out from Negative. Bramble Maze down. Kaka locked up for a second. As whoa, he's dead again. Fly. I'm not expecting him to just drop in lane like that. But at least there's a trade from Ali.
That was a big kill. Was it like 2 levels?
They might be able to go in
from that.
onto this TA. They've got the Cursed Crown. They've also got the help from X-Nova. There's the Astral Step across both the Rubik as well as the TA. Now they've got the Fire Blast. The Telekinesis out on a Somnus. Can they get the kill on the Void Spirit? They will. And Negative's looking to go back in on X-Nova, who slowed up thanks to the trap. Get that right-click damage out onto the Ogre. They get the kill. Negative with 2 stays alive as it looked for a second that TA was going to be the one who dropped.
Don't worry, Bane is almost level 6, Ben. After that, he got 2 levels and 500 gold from that kill. So he's gonna get level 6, he's gonna grip, and they're gonna kill the elf. But they're gonna need to bring... They have to bring, I think, 3 heroes to kill this LC. This shit. This is like somewhat 6 minutes, maybe 6.5, 7.
Wow. I mean, I think I missed all 3 times that Fly ended up dying bottom. I'm just not expecting that.
You don't expect a lifesteal dying in the lane sword to LC before level 6, you know?
Yeah, and I think the third one was under duel, because he does have that dual damage. But, I mean, the first 2 times, seriously, those solo kills, they're very impressed from Old 11 to get those.
So Dire is pressuring the top and bottom towers because they managed to do well in both the side lanes. I mean, Boys is struggling in middle, but at least they did well in both of the side lanes, so that's a plus for them. And Boys is going to have to rely on rotations later to get back into the game. And let's see if Radiant decides to defend either of the towers. They're going to hold the top tower, but I'm not sure if they can hold both. Only is level 6, so he's a lot of experience.
There's the duel out on Ollie. An easy kill onto the Bane.
Yep. But because they lost the bot lane for Radiant, so it's going to be very difficult for TA to access the Ancients here. So this is the downside of using this area right now. The TA really wants to use this area. Top lane, we see a Stampede, Dragon Knight.
Yep,
Dragon Knight.
You can get the kill on the Dragon Knight. They got the stun through. They were also chasing this Rubik bottom. Kaka was on the run.
Outpost, 10-minute outpost. At the moment, Dire has control of both the outposts, so it doesn't seem like Radiant is going to be able to get any. They're going to force the top tower in return, but Dire is going to be happy with the double outpost.
How important is that when you've got yourself the double outpost? Like, is that experience super significant?
So big deal. It's a very significant one. It's so big for the supports. Not so much for the cost, but for the support. So you see right now the supports on Dire, the Willow should be, is he getting a book? Who's getting a book? I don't think Ogre really needs the book, so Willow can be level 7 from the book right now.
Duel out on to this Rubik, they'll get the kill easily. Once again, that's 3 duels already completed.
And top lane you see a Willow, level 6 Willow keeping in. He's a very strong hero right now, a lot of damage. He should be able to kill this Centaur if he comes near the top, but he's gonna be playing it really safe right now. LC, what did he go for next phase? Well, he's going for Halberd again. Okay, I understand the Halberd this time because it's TA. But the last game it was weird. So Dire's still posturing around top. The catapult is still alive at top. So maybe thinking about pressuring a tower with the catapult.
Can they even defend if they're the Radiant side? They are starting to move this way.
Or a grip onto Void Spirit.
And they'll get the kill there on a Somnus. Now they'll look and turn their attention towards top.
Still the kill. Come on.
They've got the stun out onto the Centaur as well as the Cursed Crown. That'll stun him and stop him from moving forward to maybe use that Stampede and catch up to these heroes. Terrorize was charged up for a second by FY. They've got the Nightmare as well as the Telekinesis coming through. There's the Terrorize that's thrown. JT the only one unaffected, and Chalice comes over to get the Dragon Tail out to try and help X-Nova to survive this, but nice Stampede gets committed, and now they get the kill into the Ogre. They look over at Chalice, but Chalice, I think he's looking to move in on this. They want to play this aggressive. They've got the Bedlam available on the Dark Will. They do a bit of damage over on the Kaka. Kaka will take Bedlam. Somnus comes over. Bedlam's popped by Kaka, doing a lot of damage to Chalice. They've got the Aether Remnant locking up the Bane, and now the Open Wounds is hit on a FY, but
here comes 11 flanking from behind. He's coming. He wants a duel. Oh, can he get him a duel?
Astral Step, Aether Remnant, overwhelming odds. Thinking about who to duel, and I'm not certain JT is the real target that you want to be
I
going
think he didn't
for.
want to go. He didn't want to go, and the voice spirit is like pinging him. Go, go, go. You can see like he's running in and he's running out, he's running in, he's running out. He's not sure what. I mean, lane TA gets the tower, but can he get out of here alive? This time they're gonna probably get the duel, yeah.
Trying to
Need
leave.
start with the Aether Remnant.
Yeah, lands
Right,
on the
got
TA. This could be the duel. This should be the kill. They get the kill on the Kaka, and can they get anything more? They've got the Nightmare out onto the DK. The stun is there from the Ogre Magi, and it multicast, but TA doing a little bit of damage. Won't matter. They take out negative, and they might even find themselves a third or maybe even a fourth. Bane walks away, but
And the
JT onto the tower with everybody here. There's no way he gets
How
out of this one, and they also
convenient.
take the tier 1 tower mid. Oh boy.
Huge win for Dire there. Huge, huge win. Tia does have Deso, so the Roshan definitely is starting to become open for the Radiant side. Life still has. He just got his Maelstrom, so poor right now.
And this
He
is
has no TP. Oh, he has no TP. Is he just dead? Do they know he's here? Okay, never mind. They didn't see him.
This is
So-
kind of what was going on with LGD in the first game, where their laning phase went very poorly, and they had to try and slow down the pace of the game. And now we're seeing that for IG, because the Lifestealer, especially dying 3 times solo in lane,
Oh, mid lane.
struggling.
Grip again. Voice
got the
Spirit.
Fiend's Grip on the Somnus. They'll get the kill there on to him, and now they'll look for another one as they've
Great
got the
play.
Nightmare out on X Nova, and with the TA making the rotation out over to the Ogre, they should have the kill, and will. So double kill for negative, and now puts him up at 5-1-1.
I mean, this is the line. This is the line. You pass this line, you always have a very huge chance of dying. That's why there's this idea about whenever if you're trying to push out this lane, the middle area, you should either be a low priority hero or a hero that kills the creep wave quickly, like a Lina or Puck, because you can just go in, kill W, and the creeps die. But if you're a Void Spirit, you can't really kill the creeps that quickly. And on top of things, he was way below the low ground there. That was a very risky play, and he paid for it.
Yeah, you got to be
So right now,
very much more aware of the Fiend's Grip.
Yeah, the Fiend's Grip has netted them a couple of really key kills. As for Dire, the LC is still huge. Almost finishing up his Halberd, 15-minute runes. What was this? Going to be 3 for the Dire? Yeah, 3 for the Dire. They have to defend this area. They can't give up this area. They have to defend under this Observer.
They're
Doesn't seem
pressuring
like they
though.
want to. They're gonna lose the ward there. This is really bad for. So they're gonna lose this area, and they can't really farm on the right area too. So it's gonna be very limited where they can farm on the right.
Yeah, but telekinesis out on old 11. Throw him onto a cliff. I'll be forced to
Oh, bot
TP,
lane.
and he TP's over
Bot lane.
towards bottom. They've got the Curse Crown on the Fly. No force that rage. Now infesting into the cart.
Greedy.
Rambo Maze.
He tried to cast his press attack. And top lane, let's see if Radiant can. They know that the Dire TP heroes. So let's see if they can reclaim this area. It's very important to reclaim this area.
Chalice Invis, they got a mark on him for just a second. They'll drop down the sentry. The telekinesis comes in as well as the Aether Remnant being locked down. I think that might have been thrown by Kaka.
Yeah, they didn't retreat. They didn't retreat quick enough. The moment the LC decides to TP bot to get the kill, and they couldn't really hold the top position anymore once he does that.
Aether Remnant keeping
So
him
a bit of the miscommunication there for LGD. Lifestealer is still dirt poor right now. Facebook Maelstrom 16 minutes. Tia is rich though. Dagger as well. So let's see if they can actually secure the road charm with this. Center gets the top tier 1, so that's going to give them even more control. But the Dire team still have excellent vision. Like one here and one here, so they can still contest this area. This area is extremely important. If Dire control this area, that means Radiant cannot get rushed.
And that was one of the benefits we thought was there for IG's lineup, where they've got that minus armor early. They'll get the Deso as well as the Metal Strike out onto the Roche. They should have been able to take it, but it's LGD who
How convenient.
might
You
get
wanna
it.
do Roche? There's a DD. This always happens, I don't know why. it happens way too often.
They're coming over a little bit too late. Yeah, they smoke and it's just not time.
If they didn't have the DD, the Radiant would have arrived on time. Sometimes you can't help but feel unfair. Like Radiant has got such bad luck.
And that's not the first perfect timing DD that we've seen. It almost always seems to be there at the right time.
It happens so much, you know, and it's so sad for the other team. So can they hold the high ground right now? That is the important question. Not sure if Dire wants to push, or they're gonna use push the top tower or defend the tier 1 board. I think they're gonna go for the top tower. I mean, right now the Radiant has to stay in this area, and I think the Dire should run across to hunt them. They need to run. Getting this tower is not important right now. This tower is not important. It's more important for them to reclaim this area.
And that was, looked like that was the plan.
So they're showing one here. They showed the Ogre mid, and they showed the Dragon Knight top, and Dragon Knight's TPing bot right now. This is actually really good. So Dire doesn't really know what's happening.
Yeah, they're going to try and pinch. They've got the Astro Step coming forward. They look over at JT. JT starting to run with a haste. Can they catch up to him? They've got Old 11 who turned back the other way.
Important here. TA is out. TA is out. That's all that matters right now for Radiant. Whoever dies right now is
Stampede. They don't lose anybody. They stampede and they get the exit. Complete exit. And that was looking like the Dire were going to pinch them on the in this jungle area.
Yeah. That was really, really good. So right now, looking at the vision, Radiant has one line of vision here. This is pretty good for them to decide where to move, because they are the side that needs to dodge right now, because they don't have the Aegis. So this kind of vision will help them dodge. Whereas for Dire, they are, because they are the attacking team right now. So when you're at the attacking team, you want like really deep vision. Yeah, those kind of wards around this line. So it helps you decide where you can attack and where you can push your advantage. Are they going to force the high ground to make the Radiant team go back? I think they should.
Yeah, because it already looks like IG were going to concede those tier 2 towers regardless. They don't want to fight
into this. This move is just to make them come back. I don't think they can pressure. Oh, they're actually going for it.
I mean, it's to make them come back, but well, IG, they're not coming back. They're going to lose this bottom set of racks.
Okay, nobody is coming back. Never mind. Don't they have TPs? Or what? They have no TPs?
The TP was down on the Rubik as well as the Bane, but everybody else had TPs available. They just give up that set of racks. They don't even want to fight in the Aegis.
I think this is like a very high level like team mindset that they feel like they cannot actually fight anyway, because the Aegis on the Void Spirit.
The 8th Remnant came out from the Rubik, and that hits on one of these players on the Dire, but it's not going to matter. The Astro step forward. Firefly now in trouble, though. Dive looking to get the kill onto the Lifestealer, and at a certain point, they're in too far.
Like they couldn't fight, and TA was really close to his BKB, so they decided to just give the push, the Rex by default. They just feel like there's no way they can. And now they have BKB on TA. So let's see whether this changes. I mean, we'll have to see whether this gamble pays off for them.
Yeah, because it's certainly a big one to give up a bottom set of racks like that for free, and allow LGD to just have that pressure.
I could understand why, because TA was, I mean, they just feel like he had like 3.5k gold, so essentially they were actually 4k gold behind instead of just 1k, because you have this 3k net worth on the TA that's not used. So I think they might have just made a really big decision that could change it. Now TA has BKB, they swap. Let's see what can they do when they show the Lifestealer in the lane. Aegis is about to time out, right? Should be one more minute.
Yeah.
50 seconds? Yeah, 50 seconds.
Yeah, so a good amount of time to play with it if they're going to fight over mid, but they've only got Somnus standing there and the rest of the team coming over slowly. They'll get the hook stomp out onto the Void Spirit to simulate to try and leave. Now Old 11. Use that press for a moment. They've got the Aether Remnant down on a Firefly as well as the Astral Step to make an escape. Rambo Maze is out here from the Dark Will of LGD. Now they look over for the TAs. The BKB's been popped. Onto the high ground. They've got the point of the hook stop. They look for Somnus. They've got the kill there out onto the Void Spirit. Now they look for more. They got the 2 onto the back line, but the Nightmare is out onto this Rubik. All good. Fiend's Grip. Chalice, is it enough time to get the kill there onto the DK? We'll find out. Ollie ends up dead. He's the only one gone on the side of LG just yet. Essence Ring keeping Chalice
The
alive.
Essence
Also got the
Ring!
Heaven's Halberd that disarmed Firefly for enough time to keep alive the DK. They get the kill into JT. Now the Astral step forward as well as the Resonant Pulse hitting onto this Lifestealer. And the Aether Remnant from the Rubik's not going to be enough. They'll get the kill into Firefly, take out 3, and lose just the
so
Aegis.
clutch. It was so clutch, that Essence Ring. And all the regen and the LC buff on the DK baited the Radiant team into trying to think that they can actually kill. That was a very, very close fight.
Yeah, Chalice drops there, and it's certainly a different story, but Essence Ring and even the Heaven's Halberd that came out on a Firefly.
I mean, that's how you could see that why Radiant was so afraid to fight before when they didn't have BKB. So even with the BKB, they couldn't win the fight.
So they're going to need a little bit more here and hope to get that kind of time to get these next items. But at least for the TA, it's looking like Moonshard Divine.
What's the next item? Like, the lifesteal is way too poor though. Like, maybe the TA can get one more item, but I still feel that the lifesteal being too poor is just hurting IG side too much. Like, he doesn't do anything at all in the team fight. Like, the TA alone can't carry the team.
It seems to be the one-man show at the moment, and it's just not going to be enough. Meanwhile,
Like, the TA can't really kill the Dragonite. The Dragonite is way too tanky. He needs someone else to help dish out damage. And the Lifestealer can't do it. It's very, very difficult for them. I think they have to rely on the Bane. He has to wait for the LC to use his buff, press the attack before he tries to grip someone. If they can actually cancel the grip on the DK, I think they just the Radiant just instant loses the fight. They have to make sure the Bane gets the ulti off perfectly.
Which is certainly more possible, I feel like, with a better position defending the high ground, where Bane is left untouched. They'll look for the duel, but the telekinesis comes in. They've got the Astral Step, Aether Remnant. There's the duel, and there's the kill on Akaka. He's got buyback in case it's needed.
That tasty 48 damage. Plus 48 with Bloodlust.
Which is only the 4th duel that he's won. He got 3
You kind of expect him to have more, right?
Yeah, especially because he started out with 3 in like the first 12 minutes or so.
He started out with a 6-minute omelet.
Yeah, it was a very fast start for Old 11.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still a lot of damage for a 24-minute game. But I kind of expected him to have more.
Tier 2 over bottom. Terrorize gets charged up for a moment from FY. Fable thrown over on X Nova, and a quick kill there on Ollie to get the kill onto the Bane. That's what we were talking about. If they can take the Bane out of the fight, then it certainly feels really good for LGD. But he buys back immediately, thinking that LGD might have looked to continue the pressure on the top lane.
I mean, I think it's a good move because look at the timing. Roshan is almost spawning, and if you click on the Dire items as well, they almost have the AC. So I think it's good for them to not force it and wait for the AC and wait for the road and then go after that. They're in no rush right now. They have in my opinion, they have the better late game to the core-to-core matchup. Having all these buffs, the Ogre plus the LC, buffing the DK. The DK is so scary. They're still gonna go for the high ground, so okay, never mind what I said. I thought they were just gonna wait for Rush.
I mean, they could take the tier 3 and then back off for Roche. Still a minute.
Rush is spawning in in 1 minute.
Have yourself that Aegis and Cheese to work with. LGD should pretty much be primed to take this game and push it to a 3-game set.
IG has to smoke out. They have to smoke out. This is their last round. They have to smoke out and contest. If they give Roche the game, it's just literally. They need to move out. Let's see what can they do here. Dire's retreat. No, Dire is not ready to take any fight on the high ground, so they're not going to be able to defend this observer. But Radiant is not going to debot it yet. They want to get a trap onto the Roche as soon as possible.
Get the trap down. Roche up in 10.
Hey, why is Dire not staying near the Roche? They have to come near. Oh, okay. Now I know why. LC wants to finish his BKB. He's what? 100 shot? 200 shot? One more creep. He's gonna have BKB. and AC is almost done as well. So this is like Dyer is having like some power up right now with the AC and the BAB. Some huge power up coming once they get the items. Okay, LC is going to TP back. BKB is going to be completed. Rush spawns. Radiant sees it. Dyer's nearby. Should be easy fight for Dyer to just get a good initiate.
Natural step forward. There's the 8th remnant that locks up the Lifestealer for a moment. Now they've got the duel out onto this Lifestealer. They don't have the damage to get the kill just yet. Fly ends up surviving. Infest in a negative, and now they're trying to run with the BKB being used there by the TA. Curse Crown stuns up
the rush. Radiant has to fight. They have to try and contest even without BKBs. They have to try. The game is as good as always if they don't contest.
I wonder if they're going to try to get the second.
Time for YOLO!
Blink post stop comes through, but it's not going to be enough to get the kill on X Nova, so they'll start off with the kill on the Ogre. They'll buy back immediately, but now down goes the TA, doesn't have buyback. Bedlam doing as much damage as possible there out on a JT. They also take out Fly, and that'll be GG called by IG to even the series up at 1.
The story of this game, then, is going to be shit out of the Lifestealer in the lane. He actually just affected the game way too much because the lane lost. He lost the lane so badly.
Oh yeah.
Like just literally lost them the game because of that. I mean, other players made mistakes as well, but the glaring one is just Lifestealer having such a bad laning phase. I mean, the LC was just way too big this game.
Well, there was never once a spot where it felt like the Lifestealer was effective, and that was, straight out of the laning phase. The fact that you died 3 times against the Legion.
I kind of expected LC to do better than